Hello, welcome back to my channel. Diane Cox here. Thank you for joining me. It's very kind of you to spend some moments with me today. And I'm going to speak today about my insights and do some poetry, a reading for some poetry on the interesting journey and intense journey that loss entails, that the incredible polarity between the terrible thing of loss and absence of a being that you love, and the joy of the remembrance and all the love that lives within the heart. So some of you may know, if you know my last recording, my last video was about the loss of my dear beloved furry friend Radio. And it's interesting when you've been on a spiritual journey your whole life, and you've read and done workshops and practiced and meditated and had all these wonderful insights, and then you go through loss. And I think the challenge of applying what you think you know, or think you know how to deal with is really interesting. And my observations on loss of my beautiful friend have been really quite fascinating, and I wanted to share them with you for other people who are also going through loss, and not obviously just of your furry friends but other friends. But I don't know, I think animals have a special place in this whole process of unconditional love. So when I was sobbing for weeks on end, didn't really want to make a video because I really couldn't have got through it if I was talking about Radio. But what I was really interested in was like, what? Okay, I believe in the eternal. I believe that Radio is in imperfect alignment now, in bliss, in the energetic world beyond, and he's free of everything, and you know, he's part of everything, and he, you know, is living in my heart, and all that stuff that you go, oh yeah, that's great, that's what I know. And then sitting down on the sofa downstairs and looking at the gate where he always used to walk in with his tail high and his jaunty, bouncy attitude, and just sobbing because I was never going to see that again, and sobbing because I would never hold him again. And we used to go for walks around the neighbourhood and all that, and I went to look at the stars the other day. I like to go to just a little walk down the road because there's no trees and you can just get a really good look at the whole sky. And he would always come with me, and he would always lie around or sniff about, but he just was such a fantastic companion. And when I was reflecting on that loss, something else quite interesting came up about love, because obviously this is what the energy I got from the loss of Radio and the presence and the love of Radio, my beautiful furry friend, my kitty, was that he got me. He could see and feel my aura. He got me. He knew what I was about. He felt my vibe, and he just wanted to be in it. He wanted to be close. He wanted to, enjoy it, as I, felt the same about his energy and his peace and his power and all that kind of stuff. But one of the interesting things was this unconditional love that you get from animals. They just don't give us stuff, but also they don't speak. So it was quite a disturbing thing, thinking, that's quite interesting. Unconditional love is not about not speaking or communicating, but obviously you communicate on an energetic and spiritual and non-verbal level. But I also got an interesting insight regarding the giving of love, and how you can love these furry friends of ours, and just love totally, unquestionably, completely, wholly. You can just give love unconditionally, and it's accepted, just fully accepted. It's not rejected or dismissed or not what's the word? Not distracted. It's not kind of put in a different direction. Redirected. That's the one. and they just take it. They take the love and they give the love. And it was just something like, wow, that's a kind of, giving that love. And also just being, he was such a great companion, and that companionship of just sitting and being in peace and just sitting in silence with that non-verbal, that non-verbal exchange going on. And another thing that I got from it was the fact that he held space. Animals hold space and support space, and it's a very, very empathic thing to do. You get some people that are really good at just holding space. They don't have to do anything or intervene. They just hold the love. They hold, the kind of the sacredness of the moment, and they just hold space. And I think animals are very good at that. Obviously, they don't intervene. They just hold the space. They just love. They just pour love into the space and hold it and just cradle the space, and therefore cradle our energies and their energies, and even in the home, the energies in the home, if you allow them to be built in that unconditional love. So and it's funny because with our human relationships, I was really analysing this myself, with our human relationships, when we give love, we have an expectation normally. I know we shouldn't. All the ancients have taught us just give unconditionally and don't expect anything back. Like you don't with animals. But why do we expect it with humans? If we do A, then hopefully they'll do B. And even when we're receiving love, it's funny how because of our upbringing or our history within relationships, we may question the authenticity of it or the truthfulness of it, or does that come with a codicil or conditions on it? And it's really interesting how a lot of humans don't love unconditionally. Parents don't love their kids always unconditionally. They love them if they do what parents like, and even friends. Friends can often not love unconditionally. I'm lucky; I have the most amazing friends, and my beautiful buddy. Wow, fantastic. The real energy between friends that can really love and not judge like animals don't judge. So it's been a very interesting journey that you realize. I remember hearing somewhere that someone saying that grief was not having so much love but having nowhere to basically send it or give it or pour it into, nowhere to pour your love. So my beautiful radio, it's been a very interesting journey. The absence of just loving and the companionship, and that thing that he just gets me. He just, I know who you are. I can see your spirit. I can see, and that's cool. It's all cool, and it's a special thing, isn't it? Without those conditions that somehow human relationships develop. Animals, as we know, have so much to teach us. So that was what I wanted to say about my lovely experience. He's in bliss, and that is all good. I wanted to read out this excerpt from a poem from The Golden Ass. The Golden Ass, imagine having a golden ass. Anyway, I won't get into that. From Apuleius. Okay, so I'm just going to read this, and I thought it was quite appropriate regarding the ongoing wonderful understanding of love and all that we gain from it, the beautiful array of love. So here is this. Actually, I'm going to edit some of this poem because I think there's a little bit in the middle of it that doesn't actually add to the general vibe. So here goes. I am nature, mother of elements. Daughter of time, I control the realms of spirit. I am sovereign of death. I am queen of the immortals. I am all gods and goddesses at once. By a gesture, I command the shining vault of the sky, the gentle breezes of the sea, even the dark silence of the underworld. I am worshipped everywhere. Each nation has its own name for me. Seeing only one of my aspects, knowing only one of my myths, worshipping me with only one of my possible rights. Then I'm going to miss a few lines. Do excuse me. But I think it's worth it. But there are those who know me best, those upon whose lands the sun shines first, and they call me by my truest name, Lady Isis, Queen of the Sky. Cease your tears now, for I have come to help you. I looked down and saw the sorrows of your life. So dry your tears now. All things will soon change for you. As under my watchful light, your life is restored and renewed.